First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone today to our BCW webinar event. Thank you so much everyone for being here, for being able to tune in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because I know we have people from different countries signing in with us today, so thank you. BCW stands for Black Canadian Women in Action, and we've had a series of webinars going from mental health to relaunching your business to today's financial literacy webinar. And this is the last in our series, our COVID-19 series, our first phase. So we're really excited to have everyone on today. And we are going to be having Jackie. Jackie is going to be doing the presentation. And just wait and see Jackie's face here before I go on. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much. So I was just telling everyone that this is our last series. This is our last webinar in our series and the different series we've done. And today we're going to be talking about financial literacy. And Jacqueline Shaw is going to be our presenter for the day. And just to give you a bit more information about Jackie is a licensed practical nurse and has been for the past 10 years. She's always big on promoting education. She's been more than promoting education, she hopes to provide some value today as well. I think that was very important to her when we had a private conversation, that she wants to add value to her presentation today. So she's hoping that people go home with a takeaway of just having more knowledge. She felt that she had been taken advantage of when her mum passed away as a result of the lack of knowledge. And that has inspired her to share the importance of being empowered with knowledge so that informed decisions are made. So I'm going to hand it over to Jackie for now. Jackie, thank you so much. There is going to be, as we all know, there is a chat room on Zoom. If you have any questions, please do type them in. Jackie is happy to answer the questions at the end of the presentation. If we don't have enough time to answer the questions, Jackie will be putting out her contact details. So they'll be there, and she said people should please connect with her directly if there are any questions that you didn't get answered during this time today. So I'm just going to hand that over to Jackie now. Jackie, the screen is all yours, and she's going to be sharing her screen as well with us. So thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much, China. I really appreciate this opportunity to share with our friends and neighbors in all the countries across the world today that has decided to join us. And as China alluded to, I am a nurse by profession, but today, standing in front of you, I am not a nurse. I am an educator today, and just sharing my story a little bit, that when my mother passed away, we were really taken advantage of because the funeral director literally took us under her wings as sisters. At the end of the day, we, during our time of bereavement, we just said yes. Yes, everything she presented, yes. At the end of the day, we discovered that we were literally ripped off to the point of putting us up to the brink of death. So, I have a right against debt. I have a right against financial literacy, and you don't know what you don't know. So I want to thank you today that you joined me and BCW in learning a little bit about the rules of the money game during and beyond COVID. As China says, if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. So there is uncertainty on the horizon, right? And with this COVID now in place, we have realized that the world has changed in unpredictable ways. Not only has the world changed, also our financial future has changed, right? Traditionally, we worked for 40 years, and between the ages of 25 and 65, and then we retire, then what? Younger generations today, and they may struggle through retirement, and money is a game. You must know the rules of the game. For example, I used to play netball back home. Some of you from the Caribbean may know what the netball is. Some play basketball, some play football, whatever the game is. You must know the rules of the game. in order to win. If they take me from that wing defense that I used to play and put me right into the center to play without giving me the rules of the game, how am I going to do? I am going to lose. And that's exactly what is happening because we don't know the rules of the money game. That's the reason why we can't win. So today, at age 25, you work for 40 years and you retire, then what? What are your options? Right? You need a pool of assets. And the definition of an asset is something that puts money into your pocket. Now, some people purchase cars, and they think that's an asset. But whatever puts money into your pocket is an asset. So what are the rules? You know, what if? What if, God forbid, you get sick or hurt, or you even pass away? How much are you going to need? What is your financial independence number? So what is your plan going forward? What is your plan? You must have a plan to GPS you into your future. And I'll share a little bit more with you as I go along, right?
12 o'clock. I got to
you do have the law of decrease in responsibility and the law of increase in responsibility. Generally, when you're younger, you tend to be less secure because you have the bills of life, you have, cars, home, whatever, debt. So you do not have much when you're younger. But when you get older, you generally tend to become more secure because during retirement, you should be debt-free or mortgage-free. Is that really happening? No. Because we are seeing where 95% of the population, statistics shows that 95% of the population, they are retiring at or below poverty level. Why is that? Due to lack of knowledge, lack of information. Nelson Mandela says, if you want to keep a nation down, don't educate them. But if you want them to rise like air, you empower them with knowledge so they can make informed decisions. What if you die too soon? What's going to happen? Where's the money coming from? What you get coming from? What is your plan? What if you outlive your dollars? As a nurse, that's what I am seeing today because we have a lot of retirees that they don't have enough cash. They either have to go back to work or they depend on family members or some social program. Nobody sat with them and give them their dime, right? That is your debt, your income, your mortgage, and education. So all of that is not taken into consideration. What is your FIN number? Who GPSed you into your future and gave you your financial independence number? Right? What if? What if you die too soon? Do you have protection? What if you get sick or injured and you can't go back to work? Do you have some form of critical illness or disability in place? What if you outlive your dollars? Do you have enough investment or assets? What is your plan? Now, I want you to take your calculator with me. I'm going to show you how you can calculate your financial independence number. If nobody has ever sat with you and given you your financial independence number, this is a typical example of what that financial independence number does. Take $50,000 today, that's your income for today, with inflation at 3.5%. We know it's more, but let's say 3.5%. In 35 years, that income is almost $170,000. And let's say you can take 6%, right? You can live off 6% of your assets. You divide that 6% into that $169,905, and you get a whopping $2.8 million. Now that is your financial independence number. It may seem like a lot, but in today's dollar, that 50 grand that you're taking home in 35 years, that's what you are going to need in your bucket. So when you get your financial independence number and you've been GPSed into your future, so you can see what is it that you require, you will not be a part of that 95% statistic that they're retiring financially devastated, right? So what can you have in your asset pool? Pensions, RSP, saving that puts cash into your pocket, right? That is called an asset. So please write that down. And you go home and figure out what your financial independence number is, so that you can work towards hitting your financial independence number. That has become a way of life for us. It's ironic that we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but we always have money problems. Why? We work hard all our lives just to retire poor. We do so much as to raise our kids to see them leave school with debt. You are told that you have to have debt in order to build your credit. We don't have much and we don't know much. Nobody teaches us about financial literacy in school. Nobody teaches us about how to manage our money in school. Financial issues are often not discussed. You've got to learn the rules of the money game. Empower yourself with that knowledge so you can make informed decisions, right? We do have a crisis here. It's a spending crisis. We purchase things we don't need. And not only that, we try to keep up with the Joneses next door. We need to have a culture and an action of education. We've got to change. I know it's not easy, but we've got to change our thinking. We've got to empower ourselves with knowledge again to make informed decisions. When you make decisions that you don't know, it's costly. I have experienced that. We didn't know. My sisters and I, we didn't know. And it did cost us big time, especially me. And so today, I encourage you to really get yourself educated around financial literacy. Rule number one is pay yourself first. But Jackie, how can I pay myself first and I barely have enough money left over? What you do, you save first, pay your bills, and then spend the rest. But we do it the other way around. We spend first, pay the bills, and if anything is left, we may save it. There's no way we're gonna win the money game with that attitude. We've got to switch things around. We've got to switch it around. I know sometimes we love to have fancy things, but if we don't need it, don't buy it. Save the money, right? A typical example of paying yourself first is Mr. Start Early, right? Mr. Start Early is only 25 years old, and he decides to put aside $3,600 every year for 7 years, and then let the money sit there and grow. Now, it's not about trying to time the market, it's about time in the market. When you understand time in the market, then you understand the importance of saving early. Saving early is a matter of urgency. It cannot wait. Because COVID is a precursor as to what's going to happen in retirement. So many families struggle through this pandemic, this, unpredictable, nobody saw it coming. And guess what? A lot of families weren't prepared for it. Now, if someone started saving early and they even had some money that they could use, then that would, that helps a lot, right? Look at Mr. Wade Longer. He decides to wait 7 years later, same age, but he joined at age 32. And he saved the same amount for 17 years. Mr. Start Early only contributed $25,000. Mr. Wait Longer contributed $61,000. Well, his grew to $131,000, but look at the difference. It doubles the amount of money that Mr. Start Early saved. So it's imperative that we do not wait, right? Procrastination is the main reason, one of the number one reasons why people fail financially. Take a look at this. Time can be our worst enemy or our greatest ally. No matter where you are in life, the key to building your financial wealth is to begin now, urgent. The sooner you begin, the less money you will need to set aside for your financial future. So, you have 40 years left to retirement. And you want to save $1 million. You need to set aside at least $300 a month. What if you only have 35 years left? $435 a month. What if you have 25 years left? You know yourself. You look and see where you are on this graph here. What if you only have 5 years left? It's $13,000 per month that you would need to set aside. Now, my question to you is, which day of the month would you like me to start taking this from you, the 1st or the 15th? This is a matter of urgency. It cannot wait. Because the longer we wait, we see what happens to Mr. Wait Longer. You pay more, it costs you more, right? So, do you understand your report card of life? Has anyone ever sat down with you and showed you how to read a financial statement? How to read your balance sheet? Right? Your statement of cash flow. How do you know how to read it? We must have information. We must empower ourselves with knowledge. We must educate ourselves because we can't depend on others to do it. That is how they take advantage of us because we don't know what we don't know. And if they tell us that A is B, we're going to say, yes, it's B, because we don't take the time to know that for ourselves. We are all busy, but you know what? If that woman did not rip us off, maybe I would not be here with you today. Because I really, really love my job. I love working as a nurse. But when it boils down to the point where you're on the brink, you're so indebted, you're on the brink because of somebody else due to lack of knowledge, that is serious. And so many of us out there are being taken advantage of because we don't know what we don't know. So it's important to understand your report card of life. What is your financial independence number? What is it that you need to get there? Where are you right now? So it's important that we really, really get to understand that. The cash flow that comes into our house, what happens to it? Half of it goes back into lifestyle. The rest is debt and taxes. So guess what? There's hardly any savings. We've got to shift our thinking. We've got to shift our actions by moving from financial insecurity to financial security via education, getting yourself empowered with that knowledge. Start saving first, pay yourself first. Pay your bills and then what's left, you spend it. Right? How do you increase your cash flow? It's very important to live within our means. So we can increase our means. We can do that by spending less. I just reiterated that, right? Work a part-time job or start a part-time business. I've come to realize in North America that one income stream doesn't work. Because what if that one income stream is cut off? what's going to happen? This COVID is such a typical example of what happens to household income. It's gone. And so people are struggling right now because there was no plans or preparation for this COVID. What are we going to do now and afterwards? Get educated, empower yourself with knowledge so you can make it doing. Think about something. Think about an additional income stream and save that money. Put that money aside for saving. Do you know how money works? Again, money is a game. So when we take our bag of cash down to the bank, what does the bank do with our money? Honestly, I thought it was kept in a vault. I honestly thought they kept it in a vault until I was ready for it. Until I became educated that they lend us back our money in the form of loans, credit cards, lines of credit, mortgages, student loans. They lend it back to us. And then, not only that, they take our money to what's called the professional money managers. And the professional money managers, they make 12 to 14%. They then give back the banks 10 to 12%. Now, I want you to go home and find out what is your rate of return that you're getting on your savings that's at the bank. That's your homework. But don't get me wrong, the bank understands the money game. They know the rules of the money game. They understand the spread, and that is the reason why they're winning. What about us? We need to learn the rules of the money game so that we can be a part of that 5% that's retired financially secure. So we can move ourselves from financial insecurity to financial security because we now have information to make informed decisions. The other question is, what if you could switch places with the bank? Would that be something that you'd be interested to learn more about? Take your money directly to the professional money managers because you now have information. And you are now making informed decisions that puts you in a better place financially. Have you ever heard of the rule of 72? It is called compound interest. And that plan can either work for you or against you. Take a typical credit card. If you don't make any payments on it for 4 years, guess what happens? The amount doubles. Nobody tells you that, right? Compound interest in debt can take you a lifetime to pay that off. Because even with the credit cards, you're told to pay the minimum. What does that do for you? How many years will that take for you to pay that off, right? So the homework I sent you home with the rule of 72, which was coined by Einstein, one of the greatest mathematicians of the world. And this rule of 72 was dubbed the 8 wonders of the world. You take your rate of return, divide it into 72, and that tells you how many years your money takes to double. So that is your homework, right? I have an example here for you. At age 29, this 29 years old take his $10,000 down to the bank. Right? The bank is so generous, it says, you know what? I'll give you 4%. When you divide 4 into 72, that gives you 18. So your money doubles every 18 years. Now at age 65, you put 10,000 in. At age 29, at age 65, you're getting 40 grand back. That's awesome, right? But remember those professional money managers that I told you about? The bank now takes you your $10,000 and take it to the professional money managers. Guess what? At age 41, your $40,000 is already made, right? And when you look at age 65, at 12%, the bank makes $640,000. You get $40,000. Off whose money? Off whose money? So it's very, very important that you understand the rules of the money game, especially compound interest. If you understand where to put your money so that your money works harder for you and it compounds, it puts you in a better position, right? So where do you put your money? Is it tax now, tax later, or tax advantage? Take a look at these and see where you have your money. We educate you on where to put your money. The tax advantage arena, it is so underutilized because everybody is being educated on the tax now. So take a look, take a picture, and ensure that you find out where your money is. And where would you rather put your money? I'm gonna go ahead and skip this slide here. Should have. So we're in a new era of proactivity. So we need to be proactive where financial freedom is concerned. In order for that to begin, being proactive, you know, it must begin somewhere. The bottom line is we need to change. And I know, we know the task won't be easy because I had to change because of the situation that we found ourselves in. And in retrospect, I thank God for what that lady did to us. Didn't see it at the time. But now I can see that because I am now informed. I now have information, right? But before we do that, before we make a change, we must understand first that the old days of passive dependence have to end. It's a matter of urgency. Urgency, urgency, urgency. It is your responsibility to learn the simple rules of how money works. Understanding how money works is part of taking care of your family. Who doesn't want to take care of their family? A lot of people don't take care of their family because they don't know how. You can do it, you can control your future. I tell everyone that financial literacy stops with me. My mother taught me what she knew, and her parents taught her what they knew. But now I have information. Myself and the generation to come will no longer be financially illiterate. We will now have financial information that will be passed on for generations to come. So the onus is on you. You've got to take that responsibility. Now, financial security is not a dream, it is a priority. At the end of the day, you've got to decide what is it that is a priority to you. Is it taking care of your family first? Is it getting empowered with knowledge so you can make informed decisions? So you can break that generational curse, that generational poverty, that generational illiteracy? What is your plan? How do you plan to move forward? COVID is going to be here for another 2 years. I learned. what are your plans? Excuse me. So with that in mind, I just want to thank every one of you for taking the time to sit and hear this presentation. I hope that there was some value that was brought to you. And my time is cut short here. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to take those questions. China.
Okay, thank you so much, Jackie. And I see Jackie has put her contact details on the screen if you have any private questions that you need to reach out to her directly for. If people do have questions, people have any questions that they would like to ask Jackie specifically, feel free to unmute yourself. Jackie, we do have one question that says, are we able to get this presentation?
Yes, you can get the presentation, but how are you going to? I would love to do the presentation for you.
Okay, so would you be okay with people reaching out to you directly?
Sure.
And having that presentation?
Just to add to that, China, yes, we do free workshops, how to increase cash flow and debt management, building wealth and proper protection, wealth preservation, estate transfer, which it's not taught in school. So we do all of that lunch and learn with businesses, universities, colleges. I was at McEwen University here at Black History Month. So it's just a matter of getting the information out there.
Okay, perfect. We do have another question that says, would you say bank or credit union is best?
I don't have a take on that. What I would encourage you to do is get yourself informed, and then you make that informed decisions. Because at the end of the day, they do both take your money. They do both go make money on your money. So at the end of the day, they do both the same things, right? They do give you low interest rates. So at the end of the day, you get yourself some information regarding both institutions, and then you decide what is it that you would rather, where you'd rather put your money.
Okay, thank you.
Questions.
Another question we have is that does this presentation come in French?
We can get it in French for you. So right now it's in English, but we can get it in French for you. So you can reach out to me and we'll get it in French for you. And I'll be happy to I would be happy to do the presentation with someone translating.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Another question we have is, how about if you want to enjoy your money today, or you need your money today, just with the way society is right now, in the situations we find ourselves? What advice do you have for people who don't want to put their money away for 35 years?
You know what? It's up to you, and it depends on your age and your time horizon. So if you are 60 years old, there's no way you can put away your money for 35 years. We're really especially appealing to the younger people who now that they have more responsibilities, especially those who are married and have children, to start saving. They think in their mind that there isn't any money to start saving, but there is. So it's imperative, as I showed you that chart, it's imperative to start saving early. If you're 40 years old, as I showed you that chart, then, and your retirement age is at age 65, you only have 25 years. So it depends on how old you are and the time horizon that you have. We do have persons who are older, like 55, and they want their money to stay for 20 years. Again, they understand the rules of the money game, and it's not about trying to time the market, it's about time in the market. So the longer you stay in the market, the better rate of return you get, and you put yourself in a better position financially, so that you have crossed over now to the 5% that's financially secure, or moving yourself from financial insecurity to financial security.
Okay. So at 50, there is no need to start saving?
Again, it's up to you. There is always hope. Why 50 years old is very young. What age do you want to retire? Some people want to go to age 60. You've got to start somewhere. And I showed you the chart that, I mean, you start with what you have. It's better to have something than nothing. And looking at the presentation to say that you can't start saving at age 50. A lot of people start saving at age 50 because if you have $100,000 at age 60 from saving, that's your money. If you have $1,000, that's your money that you would not have had you not started saving. So we encourage everyone to save, but we are really appealing to the younger people as well, so that that 95% can change as they grow and they learn this information. And whatever they learn, they can pass it on to their kids and their grandkids. And so the cycle goes on because it's broken. Having the information, that cycle is broken.
Okay, so we have a very interesting question here, which I'm interested to find out the answer to as well. How do you impress the importance of financial independence number to a younger audience?
Well, that is why we do have the mini version of this presentation that we have our teen sessions. We just hosted, we have a 4 weeks one running now. So what we're doing, we're encouraging them, teaching them what to do with their first dollar, how to buy their first vehicle, the importance of saving, showing them that when they start saving at an early age, right, then their financial independence number will not be that high, but they'll start saving so they can hit that financial independence number when they get to that age that they so desire to retire. So we GPS them into their future and give them the tools that will help them. Again, they have to take action.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
It does make sense, yes. And if people have any other questions in relation to that, please put them up. Another question I have is, do you do these presentations for free?
Yes, it's all free. All our workshops are free because our mission is to educate 30 million families by the year 2030. Our mission was to educate 1 million by the year 2020. But with COVID, we were able to surpass that amount because everybody's home. So we brought the presentation into the education into their living rooms. And so we surpassed that. So our mission right now is 30 million for by the year 2030. And I know we can do that. Because I tell you, we are revolutionizing the financial industry via education. We empower ourselves. Yes.
No, thank you. I like you definitely talk about educating people, and I can see there's a intentionality about what you're asking people to do, to really look at the money and say, hey, what am I doing with my money, and not just live day in, day out, without being intentional in our spending habits.
And it's a matter of urgency. It's a matter of urgency, China, because I tell you the honest truth, when my mother passed away, we did not know. We knew nothing about this, no financial education, nothing. We just thought we had money, and we had emergency money, which was our credit cards. And that is what I find asking people, do you have emergency funds set aside? And they say, yes, they have a credit card. Credit card is debt. It's not emergency fund. I'm not saying it's bad, but you've got to understand how to use that credit card, and make sure you have the cash to pay off that credit card. Because it compounds and it compounds and it compounds. So education is key. And that's why I'm standing here today, big on education. So for those who would like to have the free workshops, we do churches, we do the workshops in churches, and schools again. School is out now, but we do everything is virtual. So it's not a matter of people coming together anymore. People, it's literally in your living room right now.
Okay, awesome. Another question we had was, how do you save and pay off debt both at the same time?
That's a very, very good question. And again, I alluded to that X curve that I showed you. And yes, people will say, you know what? And it's true. You are spending after tax dollars. And yes, there's hardly any money left back when you pay your bills. But at the same time, a lot of times during our workshops, it shows you how you can find money in your own home 31 times. 31 times. So there is money there. It's just that you don't see that money. When you take the workshops, it's an eye-opener to show you, oh, I didn't know that. Really? So it's just a matter of information and education. You think you don't, but trust me, you do.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? I know there was a question about do you do these presentations in private as well, or would it just be through Zoom technology?
Well, when they say through private, what does that mean? In the comfort of their own home?
In the comfort of their own homes or one-on-ones,
yes. We do them on a one-on-one. We do them kneecap to kneecap, we call that as well. Or we do large groups. We do groups as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Does anyone have any other questions? There's a lot of thank yous I'm seeing. There is knowledge in power, which is very, very true. This has definitely been eye-opening. So thank you so much, Jackie, for this very informative presentation, as one of our speakers said. Please do take Jackie's details down. It's on the screen, her mobile and her email. She's more than happy to, she wants to hear from you. She's definitely invested in educating people and adding value and adding knowledge to people, just knowing how to deal with their finances in a better way. The last question I'm going to ask Jackie before we sign out, it says, do you train people?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so yes. Okay.
And you know what, we're really looking for people who really want to help and serve, and I implore the audience to help me take this to the mountaintop, because it's very, very important. Due to lack of knowledge, the people perish. And so I'm really, really reaching out for persons to help us take it to the masses, right? Be a part of the 30 million that our mission is to educate and empower.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you everyone for being here today. Do log into our website to find out our future webinar presentations, that when we start our phase 2, because there's going to be a lot that we're going to be tackling today. Do take Jackie's details again, as I once said. Thank you very, very much, Jackie. Really informative, very knowledgeable, we can see. So yes, this is our end of our webinar today.
My pleasure, China, anytime. I'm out for BCW, Black Canadian Women in Action. Black
Canadian Women in Action. Please do visit our website and please do join if you're not already a member. So thank you, everyone. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, I'll just leave my information on the screen a little bit there, China.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, sure. Stop sharing now, everybody's gone.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll sign out now, China. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Okay, and I shall be ending the presentation now. Everyone should have got the details. So thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. You have a great weekend, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.